What up, what up? It's Hunter here, delivering on my promise. Don't worry, I did not forget. Bull did not make me forget about doing this Pat Freiermuth video today. I'm going to be discussing whether or not I think Pat Freiermuth will be the best tight end in college football. Also, shout out to my Lakers. You know what it is, NBA back too, but going to stick with Penn State in college football here, so let's get right into it. So for probably the last time this summer, I'm going to be giving the stats like I always do to start off all of my videos here. So for Pat Freiermuth this past season, he had 43 catches on 63 targets for 507 yards, 7 touchdowns, and that is 11.8 yards per catch. He was 4th amongst FBS tight ends in touchdown receptions last season, 7th in the Big Ten in touchdowns receptions regardless of position. Also selected to numerous All-American teams and all Big Ten teams as well. And then some career totals for you to see how he stacks up with some of the best that ever put on that blue and white. 69 receptions on 110 targets for 875 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 12.7 yards per catch. That 15 touchdown mark is tied with Mike Gesicki for most touchdown receptions by a tight end in school history. Also worth noting, it took Gesicki 4 years to do that. Pat's only done this in 2, so pretty obvious, as long as he catches 1 touchdown, that he is going to be the all-time leader for Penn State there. He's also caught at least 1 pass in 25 consecutive games as well. So Pat Freiermuth has been a factor in this offense, and his role is only going to continue to grow this upcoming season. So first off, we're going to talk about some of the strengths of Pat Freiermuth, what makes him a great tight end, why he's arguably going to be the best tight end in college football this season. For one, he has great hands. I mean, Penn State coaches have gone on the record to say he has the best hands on the entire team, and that is regardless of position. He's a huge red zone threat. He's great catching the ball in traffic. Also, him and Sean Clifford have a great chemistry as well, and I only expect that to get better this upcoming season. Pat Freiermuth too, great athleticism and versatility. He has the ability to line up all over the field. He's too big, too strong for these safeties, too fast, too shifty for these linebackers. I love his ability. He's got juice. He's able to pick up legit speed running downfield with the ball in his hands. Also does a great job staying up and fighting for extra yards as well, so you like those effort plays from Pat. And then run blocking as well. It's not, the coolest stat to talk about here, or it's not really even a stat at all, but it is super vital for Penn State's success because they are a run-heavy team. He's a true 3-down tight end, if you will, because the offensive line was really bad last year for Penn State. Not the best. It will be better, I think, this season, but his ability to be a lead blocker for Penn State's heavy run offense is a huge key as well, and it really showed that Pat Freiermuth can be really reliable, really versatile, and can be a true impact player, whether he has the ball in his hands or not for Penn State. Now, you're going to be really hard-pressed to find any true weaknesses in Pat Freiermuth's game. He's really well-polished. He can do pretty much everything, but for one, I kind of want to see in this new offense his route tree kind of expand a little bit here. I'd like to see him, be a little more agile on his feet, be able to make guys miss, be a little shifty, like I said earlier. Also be cool to see him, run some more deep routes, kind of just let him loose a little bit. And then, he's not the skinniest guy, but I think potentially adding more weight could help him be better prepared to play at least on the NFL level, because there was some plays out there, he's getting a little pushed around a bit. He's not a small tight end by any means, and he's really athletic. I'm not calling him weak at all here, so don't misquote me on that. But I do think that Pat Freiermuth, if he can, get a little bit stronger, a little more filled out a little bit, and then Penn State can kind of let him loose, and maybe without KJ Hamler there, his number will be called even more, and we'll see Pat Freiermuth be a really dominant tight end that he has the potential to be. So there do be people out here calling Pat Freiermuth baby Gronk because their games are really similar on the college level. Again, Rob Gronkowski, in my opinion, is the best tight end maybe to ever play football. I don't know if Pat Freiermuth is necessarily that, but he is really, really talented in his own right. I love to see him get drafted by a team like the Cowboys, the Seahawks, 2 teams that will utilize him in the run game, 2 run-heavy offenses, which we've seen Pat Freiermuth thrive in already. And then they also really utilize the tight ends in the passing game as well. They got 2 good quarterbacks there, Dak Prescott for Dallas, Russell Wilson, of course, for Seattle. So I think he would really thrive in either of those teams if they were to take a flyer on him in the first round, which I think he very well could be a first-round pick in next year's draft. I think Pat Freiermuth definitely, if you ask me right now, is the best tight end in college football. I think Kyle Pitts from Florida also gives him a run for his money. Those 2 guys are really, really good in their own right. But let me know what you guys think. Most of you probably are Penn State fans watching this, so you'll probably agree with me. But this is probably going to be my last home video, if you will, of the summer. I appreciate all the support. It's been a lot of fun making this content. It just kind of shows you that, you know, just because coronavirus happened doesn't mean you can't get busy out here, you know what I'm saying? But next week, I'm going to be putting out my first ever official debut Penn State Sports Night highlight reel. It's going to consist of a lot of my in-studio stuff from last year, my past year, junior year. It's a very different type of highlight reel. I think a lot of people do things the same. I tried to make it a different approach here, make it more exciting for the viewer experience, if you will. But keep a lookout for that. That'll come out next Monday, August 10th, I believe. Again, I appreciate all the support so far, and keep tuned for that next week for sure.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.